So we get to the very last talk, which is from our organizers, from Asan and Julia. They'll wrap up the program here and send us off on our mission to change the world. Yes.
Thank you, Jim. Wow. What 2 days? Huh? What would you say?
Yeah, this has been so exciting and interesting to learn from all of you. Thank you all so much.
Thank you. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your attention. Thank you for your participation, your generousness, actually, and sharing your knowledge. Really appreciate it. So we'll be closing, and I will, can we get the slides up? So we won't be keeping you for long. We'll go fast. So Julia, would you mind going through those slides?
Sure. So we wanted to just spend a little bit of time trying to synthesize some of the lessons learned from over the course of this conference. We had a few takeaways ourselves, but we would also like to then open the floor to all of you to hear what you learned, if there was any interesting observations that you hadn't thought about before. So a couple of the lessons that Asan and I took away from the talks include the fact that digital public goods must encourage user trust. And they can do this through a combination of technical, social, and economic techniques. Second, it's Second, it's impossible to separate the security and privacy of local data hosting from questions of capacity. We talked a lot about whether to host digital public goods in the cloud versus locally, and it all seems to come down to questions of capacity. What are the skills of the people that you have locally? What is the infrastructure that you have accessible to you, both in terms of hardware, network connectivity, and air conditioning, as someone pointed out? Third, most of the solutions that we saw regarding large-scale adoption were explicitly designed with interoperability in mind. This seems to be a really important feature that we need to think about when designing new DPGs. And fourth, limits on relevant labeled data are limiting the scope of services that can be developed using AI today. So collecting those kinds of data sets and making them publicly available without violating data use and data privacy laws seems to be an important question to explore. With that, we wanted to open up the floor to all of you to try to understand or hear from you if there were any lessons that you learned or any points that you would like to comment on.
Yes, and we have our scribe there taking note of everything.
First of all, I'd like to thank all of you for the invitation to attend this. DPGs is something that I realized is already in use. It just isn't coined under the term DPG. So there's a lot of that's happening. So this has been great to contextualize that. Then contextualize it across different sectors. There's agriculture, there's finance, there's digital IDs. So all of them sort of overlap and interact with each other in different ways. And they can be used and beneficial in different ways, but also keeping in mind that there are certain risks that come with them. So it's more of a balance of trying to figure out what outweighs what. Do the risks outweigh the benefits? Do the benefits outweigh the risks? And then in that line, developing relevant standards, regulations, and just ensuring that the digital infrastructure in itself is ready to be able to be accepting of all these things. Because at the end of the day, they have benefits, amazing benefits that many people can benefit from in different areas and in different sectors in life. So this has been really great to contextualize that. Thank you.
Thank you for the great points, absolutely.
Right, putting the context on. Kanwal.
Thank you, Asan. I just wanted to quickly acknowledge the students. For me, the best part of the conference, in addition to all the brilliant learnings from here, was the poster session. The true innovation that I saw in some of the posters were ideas that I had not seen anywhere else. So I felt very happy to see that, and I really felt that innovation for Africa will come from Africa, and that poster session was a great testament to that. So congratulations, heartiest congratulations to the students.
Absolutely, yes.
Thank you, Kanwal. That's why we ask them to give us the privilege to join us, so they will be on the stage in a minute. Okay, we'll go quick for each comment. We want to capture everything.
I was just really excited to see, often events are, all the health people getting together, all the financial inclusion people getting together, all the agricultural people getting together, and it was delightful to hear from across the different disciplines, and really amazing to see how similar a lot of the challenges are, and how exciting it is to see that we now have these forums where we can have solutions that span these often siloed sectors, and so it's just really exciting to see. So thanks everyone for coming with an open mind and hearing people outside of their disciplines.
Great
Thank
point,
you.
Evan. Thank you. Anyone else?
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah,
in the
thank
back.
you. Okay, so I mean, just to start from where he finished, I did miss out the big part of today's sessions, but what stood out for me today was really that where there's a lot of thinking and work, happening around how data and like technology in general is being used for agriculture in Africa. That is something that's still relatively new. It's still a huge unexplored area. We're seeing my hope is that we'll see a lot of these technologies being commercialized, and then go on to make greater impacts for smallholder farmers and like the big farmers. And then from yesterday, which I did ask a lot of questions yesterday. Yesterday was really fun and very educative. We respect. I think what really stood out for me yesterday is we're still thinking and figuring out how to build trust. I think it was really highlighted that how much that it's not really about technology. It's not really about the tech. It's not really about the software. It's more about the people and the way technology is leveraged in different places. I really appreciate the guys from India that share the UPI model. I think that there's a lot for us to learn for the regulators who were in the room, for the academics and the technologists. I think there's a lot to learn and then bring to market, outside of academic settings like this. And that's really something I'm looking forward to covering more about.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
So thank you, and the sessions have been quite exciting. My name is George Okeo from CMU Africa. Two lessons that probably I would like to point out. I think one of the things that emerged is that we need to take the risks. There is regulation and then there's innovation. We cannot wait for regulation before we can innovate. We can actually do this at the same time. The second thing that I picked out is the need probably to co-create our solutions with the people who are likely to use them if we are going to get acceptance. Thank you.
Couldn't agree more.
So we'll do in parallel. I'll give here. So one day. Okay. Go ahead, Wallace.
Okay, yeah, I think for me, I think one of the big, I don't know whether to say lessons or benefits of the session was bringing together academics and professionals and politicians to be in the same space and talk about issues. I think so often it's kind of like academics talking about academic and theories and research and so on without talking to the people in the practice. So I think over the past 2 days, we've been able to hear people who are in the trenches as well as to get the academic perspective of these things. That was great.
Thank you.
All right. Hey, thanks. First off, I want to thank Hassan and Julia for putting together an amazing conference. Can we give them a round of applause, please? No, it's a really great to hear complementary viewpoints as someone echoed just now. One thing I do want to say, just seeing all these different talks and different things, there does seem to be a lot of technology duplication across different initiatives and across different countries. And if you're thinking of DPGs from a global, sort of a universal global context, it seems like it might be useful to think about how to unify some of these insights or approaches or architectures rather than keep reinventing the wheel every single time you have to do this. I don't know. That's something that I observed, that there seems to be a lot of technology duplication. Thinking about how to consolidate some of these efforts might be useful.
Good point, and a
Okay.
really difficult problem in general.
Yes, I want to point out, I appreciated a lot that I saw here. First of all, I noticed the way you involved your government. I saw your minister come here and she stayed so long. We were discussing it and we said, how can a minister stay for almost half of the program without even leaving? And she was communicating. She was actually speaking the language. So I would say this is a way forward to every nation. That's one. The second one is the mixture of academics and the industry. Everything was blended very well. 3, the lightning section was my high point because a lot of points were made and I collaborated with some people. So it was a very good one because it was always getting us before we sleep. So the lightning section would give us the... So I like the way then those that chair the programs, they really did a good job, especially today. The people that chaired today, no sleep at all. We are all active. So it was a very good one, and we are taking some notes, and we are taking it back home. Thank you very much.
Thank you. So she practically said everything, but one thing I want to add is the fact that one thing I'm going to take away from here is technology has to be people-centric. It can't be technology there and people down here. There has to be a look-back mechanism where you carry everybody along, the community, the people, the customers, and the whole society as a whole. Thank you.
Hello. Thank you very much for the organizer for these good 2 days. I think if you look at what we are talking the last 2 days, digitally is very important for, I think, Africa to accelerate our development. What I can raise here is the importance to make collaboration between university, research. I think we need to innovate. I think our innovation must be inclusive. We need to have the better solution coming from our students. If you look at what we are talking about in our university, we have some students, we give them some skills, but sometimes we avoid some possibility to have application. I think here we have the occasion to push our students to work on real need for the development of Africa. Thank you very much to all for your presentation.
Thank you.
Thanks also from our side. I'm from NORAD, and I agree with very much of what's been said. It's been very inspiring, and I love the focus on implementation and that it's more than just a technology. In regards to the duplication of technology, I just wanted to remind everyone that there's a DPG standard and a DPG registry, and welcoming people to nominate technologies to be in that register for it to be easier for others to find and build on and innovate on top of it. So, thank you.
Yes, I just have one thing that I learned is how do we make sure that, I mean, we discussed about it yesterday also with the group, make sure that farmers, I mean agriculture, right? From the farmers to train them to understand better the underlying technology, but also all the type of information they've been fed. And on the other side also, we need a new set of innovators to make sure that the way we deliver the message is the good way for the farmers to use it. And all of that in one framework. Sometimes people call it policies, others regulations. But one thing is clear, policies and regulations are not the solutions to everything. But lack of policies and innovations and inappropriate or unconstructive might be the origins of a lot of issues also. So just to keep that in mind. Yeah, thank you.
I wanted to thank both Julia and Hassan for putting this fantastic conference together. I think for us it's been an incredibly insightful 2 days. I echo many of the observations made by other participants here, for instance, in terms of there needing to be a people-centric perspective in building technological solutions. I also agree and echo many of the observations made on the format. For instance, I think the poster sessions were fantastic, but I'd just like to add one more thing. I think the way you designed the sessions interspersed with these breaks, where we had ample opportunities to dive into conversations, I think was really, really useful and helpful. So, thumbs up on that.
Thank you. Well, the last one, maybe.
So I just want to acknowledge the people behind the scenes that also make this happen. So Mary-Ange, if you could walk up here, and some other,
Okay,
who am I
Conrad,
missing?
we
Olive?
actually have a-
Oh, okay. Okay, so we have acknowledgements at the end, but I
we'll
just,
get to that in just-
I just
okay,
wanted to
we'll do it now.
acknowledge, yeah, there we go.
Okay.
I wanted to acknowledge our colleagues, if they can also come up here, and just thank you for all the hard work. So please give a round of applause to the additional,
Yeah, can you show this slide?
oh, the slides are not being shown. It's on the screen here, okay. There we go.
There we go.
So
Okay. We have-
let's give a hand to all the individuals. Asan is saying, come up. Mary-Ange
Everyone
is-
on this slide, students also please come up.
Students, please come up.
We'd like to thank Olive,
Olive, if you're
Mariange,
behind there.
Isabel, Michael, Conrad, Kanwal, Lena, Tim. Could we get the slide back, please, on the screen? Monica, Lena, Edith, Jacqueline. All of our amazing students, the amazing team at Events Factory that made all of this happen.
Events Factory.
And Rita and her whole team. And
Good call. You stay here now.
we would also like to thank our generous sponsors, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, Carnegie Mellon University Africa, and the Afrotech Network. And finally, I would like everyone to please give a big round of applause to Asan, who has worn so many different hats during this conference. He's done everything from mentoring students to making sure the construction on the building was done in time to answering all kinds of emails. He's really been amazing. So, Asan, great job.
And yeah, and Julia.
Yes.
Tim, please.
So the organizers here, they've been working on this for a long time. But I really want to thank actually the audience, just the people who came from so many parts of the world for this, who believed that this was a worthwhile event to travel to. And I think it's what made this event great is everybody out there, because I think that's where the real interactions, the coffees and everything happened. So I really want to thank all of you for coming, just because it was, I think it was really such a fantastic mix and group of people. And thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's it.
Should I skip the last? I mean, I should.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so Conrad got a little bit ahead of us. We did have two things we wanted to mention. One is that we're writing a white paper on the themes of this conference. If you're interested in contributing, please stay on this stage for just a second, guys. Please look out for a survey via email to share your main takeaways if you want to be a contributor to the white paper. We will, as I mentioned earlier, we also want to connect with those of you who want to become part of the Upanzi network through collaboration or providing project ideas. So that same spreadsheet that we're going to send out will also allow you to indicate your interest in either project ideas if you build a DPG or DPI and want to engage with students, or if you have students who are looking for summer projects, we'll send out some more details about that. Yeah, so thank you all, and have a great trip home or rest of your stay in Rwanda.
I think that we have, Olive has sent an email about airport drop-off. So, yes, so it looks like we'll be having the slide up very quickly. But look out for your email. You will be getting one that tells you about hotel pickup and airport drop-off. And so we wish you great return back home. Huh? Thank you. Okay, well, sure.
Just in order to finish this summit well, I should share with you some good information, some good news for the whole country of Africa. Next year, an African version of the global conference GITEX will be held in Africa. So it's a good news for the whole country. It will be held geographically in Morocco. It's an African version, but it will be held in Morocco on the 21st of May till the 2nd of June. Thank you so much.
Great. So thank you very much. And transportation should be out. And so this is hotel pickup. If you don't see your flight or your information here, get in touch with us. There will be an email also telling you this, basically. So, well, voila. Thank you, and we'll see you soon.